And now, a Dice Tower digital review with Brian Hoyer.
Hi, and welcome to another Dice Tower board game review. I'm Ike.
Tina?
Yes.
You made me the girl? Duh. Well, let's love
Otherwise known as Brian.
And Patrick, the guy who's occasionally behind the camera.
This week we're going to be looking at a dexterity game, meaning you actually have to flick or physically move the pieces with a little bit of skill, sometimes luck, called Pitchcar Mini.
Now, Pitchcar Mini is not like the games that we usually review. It's a lot simpler in play. Now, this is Pitchcar Mini compared to the actual full version of Pitchcar. Would you like to explain the reason why you wussed out and got this one?
Well, there is a full Pitchcar that, one, is a third the price more expensive, and we're frugal here. And two, because I wanted something that I could play. Notice we took the leaf out of the table to make it smaller. So it plays in a small space. The box literally is this big, and I'm pretty much out of shelf space at this point for more board games.
So basically what we've learned at the beginning of this is that he's cheap and he's refusing to get more space for a game like most gamers would.
We'll build an edition later.
Yeah, exactly. Well, how does this game play? What is a dexterity game really like? Let's pop open the box and find out. Now, the components for this game are fairly simple. The base game comes with 16 tracks, and by the tracks we mean these black race track regions. Those tracks are very well made, they're thick, they're durable, they interlock together, making a very, very tight racetrack, which is something you might be concerned with the dexterity game, but this game pieces pull it off pretty well. With those 16 tracks, you get 10 curves and 6 straight sections, or 6 straight lines, and it even comes with an insert that tells you how to make several different tracks, and of course, if you have a great imagination, you can make some up yourself and see how good they are when you play with your friends. This also comes with the red bumpers or rails. Now, the red bumpers or rails that comes with come flat, and they can bend around the sections of track as necessary, so they're actually really easy to store. The base game also comes with 8 cars, represented by these discs with the stickers on them that come with the set. Now, if you notice off to the side, we also have some ramps. Those ramps don't come with the base set. There's actually 4 expansions available for the Pitchcar franchise. We have a couple of them to build larger tracks, and the good news is that they all work together and they'll all interlock nicely.
Now, to start the game is pretty simple. Basically, everybody does a practice lap, where you flick your car around, and whoever makes it around in a lap in the fewest pitches, they call it, or flicks, gets to go first. The second fewest number of flicks gets placed second, and then eventually you're all ready and you'll line up at the start line, ready to race. Now, the rules of Pitchcar are pretty simple. There are 5 essential rules. Rule number 1 is you have to pitch or flick your car around the track. Being a dexterity game, that's how you move. Meaning I can flick it the traditional flicking style. I can flick it this way, however I want, as long as I do not move my hand forward. Because, rule number 2, if you go off the track, like so, you go back to where you originally pitched or flicked from. If I move my hand forward, 1, not only am I kind of pushing the car along and cheating, but 2, I won't know where I originally pitched from when it does bounce off the track. So you keep your hand where it was. Rule number 3, if you ever flick your car or pitch it and it ends up upside down on the track, you go back to where you flicked or pitched from. Rule number 4, if you flick and hit somebody else, it's fine to hit somebody and move them forward, but if I hit them and they go off the track, I'm the one who caused the accident. They go back to where they were, I go back to where I was, kind of losing my turn that way. Okay, rule number 5 is very simple. You can do some pretty cool trick shots. From bouncing off the bumpers, go around corners, you can actually try to flick and jump gaps, but if you leave the track and jump further ahead onto the track, you cannot skip more than 2 track pieces. So technically, if I was at the start line, and I got really lucky, I tried this, it's not easy, I could technically flick right over to here and keep going around the track, because I only skipped 2 different pieces. So gameplay is simple. You move your car, the next person would go, goes back to right where he was, the third person would go wherever they were lined up, and everybody tries to go around in as few moves and as fast as possible. You do 3 laps, first one across the finish line wins. So, final thoughts on Pitchcar Mini?
Go ahead, I'll let you start.
I think it's a solid game. As stated, the pieces are very well made. Haven't used the jumps before tonight. We played about 5 games before we reviewed it here, because, having played it before, I just haven't used the jumps, because I just got it a couple weeks ago. Found that the jumps don't quite line up perfectly. There's a little bit of a lip, and sometimes when they hit the jumps, it brings them to a screeching halt or flips the cars through no fault of the shooter. So that's kind of a problem. The track pieces are all smooth and fine. It's just I was a little disappointed by that, but the track pieces are great. And this is an extension technically anyway. It's not with the base set. So you just got to be careful. I imagine if you lived in a high humid area, these could start to warp too. That's about the only downside I can think of though. It plays very well. The components are high quality. Up to 8 players, 2 to 8. Or you could dink around and practice trick shots and get better on your own too, I suppose. You could go solo. So I would have to give it... I would give it an 8 for gamers. For like hardcore gamers, bring it to game night. It's a great game, a lot of fun. This is a small track. I know some people are going to probably comment on that. Yes, I have a couple of extensions that could make something about double the size. You'll want to do that. But it's worth investing the money. However, I would bump it up to a 9 for families because I have 3 little ones and my 5-year-old adores this game. The very next day she got in the car after school and told Mommy that she wanted to play that race car game again tonight, which is not like her at all because she's not really a gamer. So anything that brings my 5-year-old daughter and kids to the table is totally worth it in my book. So 8 for gamers, 9 just because I thought that was awesome that my kids just latched onto it.
I've actually a lot of the same reviews that you have on it. I didn't find the Rams too horrible. There is a lip on it, and you can actually, if you could see it, you can actually see the 3-dimensional, the transition here is just not as smooth as it could be. But we still had fun trying to jump them and try to leap them off. But it does make it the shots a little bit more complicated. I do like the fact that it's for a large player game. I mean, you can get 7, 8 people on this. Having played other dexterity games before, my one comment is. Compared to the other dexterity games, the little tokens are a little lighter, so it was harder for me to get used to shooting this around compared to some of the tokens that come with Ascending Empires and Catacombs, but it's still the same basic idea. You flip the little pieces around.
However, I have read reviews that people say, and that's actually another reason I did get Pitchcar Mini, not because I'm cheap, but people said little kids do better at Pitchcar Mini, because full-size Pitchcar, you've got some long shots, and the little kids don't have the strength and can't compete with adults. Yeah. So you're right, it is probably a little light, and we can get some pretty amazing shots go, pretty far, but for kids it's perfect.
I agree that if you're playing with especially larger groups, you'll want a larger track. This track is probably a little small for 8. I think you'd get... it's hard to make it around, hard to get your fingers in the right spot with smaller tracks. You kind of want to spread out a little bit more.
And when we were goofing around, I think, boy, we were probably finishing something this small in like 6-7 minutes.
Yeah, it's fantastic, which is I appreciate. I mean, you can get several games in on this. Adding on the complexity with the larger track would be good. Great family game. My children are excited about seeing this and when they come over and playing. It's a great family game. It's easy to set up. I'm going to flip the numbers a little bit compared to what you have. I'm going to say it's for families. It's definitely an 8. Okay. I would say definitely an 8. For the little ones, it's one of those games that little children can really understand very easy. There's not a lot of rules. So as you said, the 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, you can get into this game. So I as being a father, I love that aspect of it. So I give it a strong 8 for families. For large gaming groups, this is a hard sell. Hardcore gamers will probably look at this and say it's a dexterity game more than a board game.
But I would argue it takes skill.
It does take skill.
Instead of sitting there and plotting and strategizing and thinking.
Well, that's what I think.
You just got to get good at it. And that's all your own fault.
And that's what I think is gonna turn off some hardcore gamers is that there isn't strategy with it. There's no thinking really. I mean, yeah, there's trick shots. It's more games of physics and skill. There's not a lot of strategy with it. I love this game, but I think a hardcore gamer would see this and say it's a novelty rather than a real board game. So for hardcore gamers, I can see scoring it 6, 7. I myself, seeing both ends, being a father and a really serious gamer in some aspects myself, I score this about a 7, right in between. It does what I want it to do. It brings young ones in. This could be a very good gateway game as well for people. You bring
Absolutely.
it out, you break it out at when your friends are over. They play this game. They're like, "Wow, this is neat. What else do you have?" And then you can transition to it. So I give it a very solid 7. I might even go as high as 7.5, but because I'm on both ends of that, that's kind of where I fit in the center.
All right, so there you have it. A pretty strong recommendation. We really liked it, and you can probably tell from watching this review if this would be your type of game or not.
Yeah,
is what it boils down to. If you like it, definitely pick it up, but get the expansions. There's the Cross I picked up, which is really cool. The first one with the jumps, awesome.
Or you don't have to be cheap and you can get the whole game itself. Okay, you don't always have to be like him. You can actually go out and invest out some money and get the entire game. And expansions are still fun, but you can have a little bit more of a racetrack than this.
The full Pitchcar, you're saying?
Yeah,
well,
the full Pitchcar, Mr. Cheap. So that's about it for us.
All right.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again soon.
Thanks for watching our review today. For more information about board games, as well as the #1 board game audio podcast, check out Dicetower.com for reviews, interviews, and more. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.